Well, hello, everybody. It is Friday morning, and that means it's the movie review we do for you, the Dennis and Andy Show. Welcome. Back at it, Dennis in town. Boom, 2 weeks in a row. We're going for more until his next vacation in October. See, I'm not even making fun. That is literally when it is. So,
well, technically August, but that's fine.
Oh, son of a bitch. See, I go out of my way to make him look good. I knew it was August, and he has to come back and go, well, I mean, it's actually August. Oh, my God. Do I even want to ask, are you in town August 11th? Because that's when Dave's Con is. Okay, Longlegs is the movie we saw last night. I just found out about this movie within the past 3 weeks. And I think it, honest, no busting balls. I think you were out of town. That's why I didn't get it to you earlier. And I was like, Longlegs, what is this? And I watched the trailer. It's from Neon, which is kind of like an A24 production company size-wise, probably smaller. And Nicolas Cage stars as a serial killer. The trailer really gave me a Silence of the Lambs vibe in the darkness of it. And, it's a female FBI agent and stuff. So, yesterday I showed to Dennis and was like, what do you think? And he was like, let's do it. So give me the real plot of Longlegs.
Yeah. In pursuit of a serial killer, the FBI agent, whose name's Lee Harker, played by Maika Monroe, she uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end this terrifying killing spree. This is written and directed by Oz Perkins, which is the son of Anthony Perkins. So, very excited to see what he could do with this. I agree with you. After seeing the trailer, I walked into this fully expecting Silence of the Lambs ish. And I will say on some levels, it definitely was. The characters, Leah Harker, as I had just mentioned, she is definitely on the spectrum somewhere. It is really cool what they do with her in the beginning. I love her.
I'll say this, actually. So we will be doing a spoiler part, just so you guys know. Yeah, I think she's on the spectrum, but then when you see like her childhood and stuff, you can also think, no, it's probably just because of the childhood. But I don't know. Either way, I say this for her. This is the first thing I've seen her in, which was nice because, you can really buy in to the character and stuff. I got the same feeling from watching her on screen that I did when I first saw Benedict Cumberbatch and Star Trek Khan, whereas it was the first time I saw him as an actor, and I was so enthralled every time he was on screen. It just, I couldn't look away. I mean, that's what I felt about like her performance. I thought she was just so good with reaction shots of people talking off screen, and this is where you really buy into, is she on the spectrum? Because just little facial movements in her reactions, not even dialogue, but just facial movements, really subtle stuff. I thought she was great.
She's socially awkward. And again, this is where she has, there's a direct correlation with her and Clarice from Silence of the Lambs, both kind of things. And obviously they both have an interest from somebody of importance in the movie. So I thought her performance was absolutely fantastic. She really did remind me a lot of Clarice, but her awkwardness is very much like the girl with the dragon tattoo. If you kind of take those two and mix them together, and then, what kind of movie was this going to be? Figured it was going to be a straight up serial killer with Silence of the Lambs. But this takes a turn, something, if you took Silence of the Lambs and mixed it up with Seven a little bit, and you know, it has a lot to do. There's a lot of symbolism in this, which we'll talk a lot more about in the spoiler section. But it is just right there. Her mom, who winds up being an important character in the movie, is Ruth, her mother, played by Alicia Witt. She was fantastic. Gave us, and the only thing we mentioned after it, Andy had asked if it was Sissy Spacek, and I'm like, it is not. But she really gave off Sissy Spacek vibes all the way through. She was fantastic as well. And Blair Underwood is basically her boss, Agent Carter. Love all their interactions because he's a straightforward cop. He brings her in on this case of the serial killer because it's gone cold. And the moment he does, he goes, it's like lava. It's on fire, and things start happening.
Yeah, and then Nicolas Cage, don't expect to see your typical black hair, whatever Nicolas Cage in this movie. They did a really nice job until 2/3 of the way in, maybe a little less than that, but over half of just showing parts of his face.
Yes.
And stuff, which made it really creepy. And his overall performance, I really got the feel. I mean, Nicolas Cage has always been one of those actors that can morph into a role. He brings something to it. A lot of times when I think Nicolas Cage in a movie, I think, what physicality is he going to bring to the character? And he brought this just creepy physicality in the movements, and then the way he talked and delivered the lines to this character. And I felt, I don't know if you did, I felt some of the lines when he wasn't talking back and forth, when he was just monologuing some, I thought some of those felt really improv in a way because they were so Nick Cageisms in them, but they didn't pull me out of the movie. I thought they were great, but they felt
didn't
improvised.
do any improv in this. He saw the script. Nick Cage saw the script and fell in love with it and signed on to this movie early on. And he goes, because I love everything how the script was written. So all what I would call, like you said, the Nicolas Cageisms, they were written into the script. The script was not written for him, but he made it his own, how he delivered it. And some of the ways he delivers his lines, this isn't a comedy at all, but there were times where we saw it in a pretty packed theater, and you heard a lot of laughing at times, and it wasn't like slapstick humor or anything. This was uneasy, nervous, interesting laughter, because that's what this movie brought out. The filming of this was so cool because sometimes, you know, when you're going down a hallway and then all of a sudden you expect it to cut, but then it lingers for an extra 1, 2, or 3 seconds. And is something going to jump out? Is something not? Is there something that's off on the side that you need to notice? Again, for symbolism, for things like that. There are, but you never know it. There's not a lot of jump scares. This is not a horror in terms of a slasher. There's a blood here and there, but the entire movie has this entire feel of creepiness throughout all of it. And it really works seeing this movie in the theater with other people, with all of the others' reactions, because you're not alone in sitting there going, okay, it's not just me. So scary, no, this isn't a scary movie, but you are on the edge of creepiness throughout the entire film.
So check this out. I just read this on the trivia part of IMDb. Micah Monroe, who plays the FBI agent, this is great, was kept completely in the dark over Nicolas Cage's transformation as the serial killer. She had never seen Cage in character until they shot their first scene together, which also happened to be Cage's final day on set. Monroe's initial, so she was mic'd up with a microphone on her shirt. And it says her initial resting heart rate was 76. This was like a cool after thing. They realized, oh my God, we could hear a heartbeat. When the first scene ended, it spiked to 170.
Nice.
And if you see this movie, you'll know why.
Yes.
The sound of her panicked heartbeat was then used in a final promotion trailer to promote the movie. That is cool. And she nailed it. She says there's no trace of Nick in there. His voice, his mannerisms, he was very much method on this. So it was in character, and it's very disturbing character to say the least. Yes.
Yeah, I agree completely. Another really cool, disturbing character. Again, the casting was great. Kiernan Shipka, she played Carrie Ann Camera, and she's in a mental institute. She's like one of the only survivors, and they have to go visit her. The interaction with the FBI agent and her was priceless. And you actually get chills the way she describes it. Yes, everything about this movie, everybody's performance in my mind was superb. I wouldn't have changed anything. I thought everybody brought their A game. The way this was filmed, this is hands down definitely my favorite horror movie of the year. It might be at least of the last decade. I had high hopes for this, but you never know what you're going to get in a small film like this. Boy, they blew my socks off. Is it perfect? Nope. They do an exposition dump that I won't talk about here in the third act, and I think they overdid it there, so it's a little gripe, but that's about it. Everything else, the camera work, the acting, the story, what you're having, it's a puzzle you have to figure out. I liked it all.
Yeah, the camera work was great. A lot of the scenes, I almost want to re-see it. Just fast forward to see if this is true. I say 80, 90% of the movie, the camera was just dead on, kind of like it is for Dennis and I right now. It wasn't the rule of thirds and stuff like that, which you usually don't do. But if you do it with a specific intent and purpose, works great. All right, let's rate this sucker. You go first. I went first last week.
Love this movie. The one thing I'll agree on right away is it's something that we need to see more than once. There are a lot of things that I'm wondering if I missed something or what I picked up on. So I know this will be a movie I'll rewatch. I love it. Must see. 8.5. It was a really solid movie.
There you go. I'm right there. I'm giving it an 8.0. Yeah, it was great. It's probably one of my favorite movies in this genre since Seven and Silence of the Lambs. I mean, I like movies like this, and a lot of them try to pull off the, ooh, let's just not make it a, catch them if you can serial killer. Let's make it kind of really thriller, scary as well. And I just really haven't seen any that work that well. But this one really did, and great special effects and stuff. So there you go, guys.
IMDb is giving it a rating of 7.7, the audience says. And let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. The critics are giving it a 91. Wow. The critics like it. The audience is giving it a 68. So this is one of the rare times where Andy and I lean closer to the critics than what we do the audience. That's kind of a rarity.
That's super rare. Oh, well. Guys, go check out KOR-DRATH, The Awakening.
Spoiler.
The new graphic novel from Dennis and I, and KOR-DRATH, A Christmas Miracle. It is literally a children's book for early readers. Links are in the description below. We're moving on to spoilers. Thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe, and share. And spoilers in 1, 2, 3. Spoiler time. Spoiler time.
One of the things that this movie, it was chock full of symbolism. And that's why I know I have to rewatch this movie. This movie takes a definite supernatural turn, far more than I would have expected, like Seven or Silence of the Lamb did. And, they explain some of it. They give hints at other ones, but there's so much in there. You actually see, like, the symbol of, a shadowy symbol of Baphomet, like in the background.
Yeah.
They talk about the pentagrams as she's figuring out, you know, that there the 9 murders, and how when she figures out the algorithm, it winds up being an inverted, basically pentagram, and that, you know, there's been 8, and there's got to be one more murder, which would be 9, which symbolizes it with the 9 circles of hell, which is one of the books she's even reading there. And the one that just struck me, you get to go into the mother's house multiple times at different points. Every single time they show the clock on the wall, it's the exact same time. The clock never moves, regardless of what time of day it is. And if you look at a clock face, the shorthand was on the 6. It was 6:30, and then it looked like the second hand was down there. So time was always 666, which we know the number of the beast that was on there. The clock never changed. So I definitely want to go back and check out a lot more of it, because she's uncoding. There's clues that are left behind, handwritten symbols, and she's able to, you know, decode them. And then you find out that she, Lee Harker, she winds up going back because you found out that she had seen the killer when she's younger, and you start piecing all these 2 pieces together. They do a great job of not putting anything in your face, but really tying together all of these little clues that start painting the bigger picture until the end.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage transformation. They definitely did great makeup prosthetics on his face. They messed with his nose, his cheeks, his mouth. He had a wig. He was pasty white. I mean, you could hear it. It was him in his voice. You could see it too in the face. But one of the creepiest portrayals of something like this that I've seen in a very long time. Very long time. And, you know, we said this was spoilers. So, well, do I want to spoil what happened in the interrogation room?
No, that's probably one of the things you don't want to spoil.
Yeah, never mind. He is, we'll just leave it at, he's creepy. He's fantastic in this. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more on the spoiler side of things. So whatever you have, go for it. But I don't really have much more I really want to spoil about it. So
yeah, the thing is, there is so much that they figure out. I will talk. One of the things that he does is it's all about the dolls, and you find out he's Nicolas Cage's character is Longlegs, is a master crafter of porcelain, and actually creates and designs these look-alike dolls. And you
size.
Right, and it's really cool how they bring it up, and this is where the supernatural gets in there. And you know, the FBI, you know, they're trying to figure it out. Agent Carter's like, are you trying to tell me there's black magic and not just an accomplice kind of thing? Well, you find out later on, you know, it's not just black magic. There's something far more sinister than that. And they make a lot of references to the man that lives downstairs. The one that lives downstairs. Well, you know, are they talking about him and under the circumstances, or are they talking about the devil himself, Old Scratch? And, you know, that is part of the things, again, another reason why I want to rewatch it, because, you know, you find out what happened in the history, which is why Longlegs has a direct connection with the Harker family and what's going on with it. They do such a good job of bringing all of this stuff together. So just be aware that when you watch this, if you are going to watch this at home when it comes out, you can't be on your phone. You can't do anything. There is something to visually see and clues to pick up literally in almost every single scene. It's not overly gory, but it's highly suspenseful. And anyway, definitely, as we said, we loved it. Got to go see it. But there's just so much to unpack in this.
There is. And there's also a lot to unpack with KOR-DRATH, The Awakening by myself and Dennis over there. This is a story that's like a blooming onion. A lot of layers to peel back. If this is your first time experiencing KOR-DRATH, the first book was The Reckoning, which is available as part of this campaign. It's a story of KOR-DRATH, who belongs to the Red Lions tribe, and his whole tribe is slaughtered. And now him and the sorceress from the Black Eagles tribe, Adriana, have to make their way on this quest to find out what is happening, what's going on. The big bad Vordoom was introduced at the end of the first book. And what are his machinations all about? He wants to gain control over all of the Shattered Reach. Guys, you definitely don't want to miss this. There are preview pages on the campaign you can look at so you can get a sense for the story. We've got all the covers featured here. It's like Burger King. Have it your way. Pick a cover, any cover you want. Bud Root's back with a beautiful Adriana cover. He did the original Lilith cover. And, oh, look at that. If you put them together, they make one glorious image. And here it is with the logo stuff. So you definitely want to check that out. New game module that Dennis wrote, cover by Bart Sears and Dan Lawless again to keep it going, keep it consistent. And when we hit the $50,000 stretch goal, everybody will get the first playable character card for this campaign featuring Vordoom the Undying and wonderful stats about Vordoom on the back. And if you're into role-playing games, you can add on the KOR-DRATH minifigure 2-inch, 3-inch, or the Big Bad Booty Daddy 5-inch version to your order. Beautiful for painting and stuff. Oh, look at that. You can see right through them. So definitely, guys, check this campaign out. Let's keep it going strong. We couldn't do this without any of your support. So link is in the description. Definitely go check that out. And if you're thinking, what about my kids? We've got KOR-DRATH, A Christmas Miracle children's book. That's right. 24 pages of children's story, easy to read. You can read it to them, spend time with them. There's also an activity book for coloring and connect the dots and stuff like that. And guys, don't worry, we didn't forget the parents, the adult version. What is that? Well, it's where the story stays the same, the overall story. But for instance, if you look on the left, you see KOR-DRATH feeding a bear some Christmas cookies. Oh, isn't that sweet? That's the children's version. On the right is what KOR-DRATH would really do to the bear. Dennis is writing some snappy, fun dialogue for those adult version pages as well. So, guys, go check this out. It's a fun campaign. You can get all 3 books for a discount of $37 compared to $42. So, do that. We think you will enjoy it. And thank you for watching this movie review. Yeah, movie reviews every Friday, DNA show on Wednesdays. We'll be back next Wednesday, 3 o'clock. Until then, have a great day.
Live long and
there goes the gang signs. Hey, Dennis, didn't miss those when you were gone. Oh.
Bye.